And back again with another League video. I'm unsurprisingly support, but this time I'll be playing Nami instead. We have Draven ADC, Yasuo mid, Aramis who's going top for the moment but is really our jungler, and Rumble who apparently is not connected. He will be going standard top. Aramis here decides to start at the Gromp instead of at the Krugs, which used to be the Golems. He comes down after a moment or so. On the enemy team, we have a Quinn ADC, a Volibear support, Elise in jungle. I should note that Clix here is Platinum 4, and everyone else is either Silver or Bronze, so he's going to be the biggest threat in this game. Tryndamere, who will eventually go mid, and a Nautilus top. Ramus was pinging for here, and Draven eventually told him, "You probably want to start down here because we can give you a better leash." Lee's kind of wandering around, looking for invades, looking to try and invade. He's not going to get it. I think pretty much everyone on his team is Bronze 4 or 5, principally because he's Platinum, so he's duo queuing with somebody on that team. I suspect Tryndamere, but for reasons that will become apparent before long. Rumble is here protecting it, but I'm not sure why he was pinged to go back. Ramus is finally on his way, and we can watch as we clearly see he's got his fingers on the wrong key right as he goes to attack the Crumps. I should have stuck a ward over here, instead I stuck it here just in case one of them, those two decided to play surprise with us. Krug spawn shortly. And yes, he had his finger on the wrong button and blew his flash for no reason. I should have given him another auto attack before I left, as Ramus does not have the best clear times. Everybody goes on their way. Quinn is an odd kind of ADC. She's in a weird position where to do most of her damage she has to turn into a bird and run into melee range. But she's not really sufficiently tanky enough to survive in melee range for long. I am here basically just trying to poke her as much as I possibly can, principally for money. Ramus is over here obviously struggling with a red. I don't think he's got quite the right runes or masteries for it. I usually skip the first buff and go on to this other half of the jungle. Lee here is going to come up here and really screw him up momentarily. I wasn't paying any attention, unfortunately, so I couldn't go help him. We're getting pushed back a fair degree, which is just as fine with me. That way I don't have to worry about wards too much. Draven is probably the hardest ADC to use because of the way his spinning axes work. They're just they add a significant amount of damage every hit so long as an axe is spinning. When he throws one, it bounces off and he has to catch it in order to keep the spinning axe effect up. If he drops it, well, here we go all in, and I was not expecting it. And unfortunately for Quinn, Draven hits really hard early. I throw an exhaust out on her, just hoping to keep her from doing much damage. And he gets first blood. Volibear almost manages to kill him here. He's running around a lot. He should have just run straight back instead of dancing like that. He ended up popping all of his summoners for it, but he's alive and he got first blood. So, worthwhile. Draven's other uniqueness comes from his passive. Every time he kills a minion or catches a spinning axe or restores structure, he gets a stack of adoration. Every time he kills someone, he can takes double that of his stacks and gold plus 50. So he makes a lot of money real quickly if he can get some kills. And to go to the gold, Quinn has almost 1,000 gold, Draven has 1,500. So even with first blood, he's a hell of a lot farther up than she is in terms of gold. He stayed, and fortunately I've got a heal as Nami, so I can just keep healing him up, and that's just what I'm doing. Play nicely, computer. I'm just warding out because I'm worried about Lee coming in. Ramus has just gotten finished returning the favor by stealing the wolves and leaving the little one behind. He does it once or twice more, it's just an F you to Lee. I don't like being pushed this far up, because even with this warded, if Lee comes down the middle, we don't have much warning to evade him, and Draven has no meaningful escape. I have my bubble, but I have to hit it, and that's not the easiest thing in the world. the wave I keep throwing back and forth bounces from enemy to ally, so I'm trying to get as many people as I possibly can. Here I knew Volibear would catch me, so I just threw the bubble on top of myself. I knew I was going to bite it if they didn't flash out of there. Unfortunately for me, but Quinn has basically no health left and has to flee. I come up here to help. And Quinn bites it. Managed to just barely survive that, but Draven is now 2-0 and Quinn is 0-2. I was hoping to catch Volley there and possibly get a kill, but not to be. Volibear as a support I've seen popular recently, as likely because people don't like playing support. People want to actually feel like they're doing something. As Nami, if I hit a bubble, great. If not, I'm just kind of the fish that floats. I'm not doing much of anything. Volley by himself doesn't do much. He goes all in. He can do a lot of damage, but that's pretty much all he's capable of doing. He doesn't have any shields. He doesn't have any heals. He has no real meaningful CC other than his throw, so which he has to be on top of the person to use, so he can be used, but it's a lot more than just pick him up and play. Nami, I have a bubble, I have my tidal wave, I have my heal, also an attack if it's close enough to an enemy, and an auto attack modifier that slows and does extra damage. Volley is hurting the wave, but this isn't very useful for them because they're so much weaker in a position, they don't want to be down here. Yeah, and this is why I suspect Lee and Trend were in together. There's been a few times where I've noticed that the other side will stand at their tower and not move for a while, which is a sure sign they're yelling at each other in chat. And Trindamere have been sitting there for a good minute or so, so he's been gone for a while. Yasuo's coming down, and they have no wards here because Volley's not building any. We're going in again. I was hoping we'd get Volibear, but everyone just kind of backed off real quickly. I was like, eh. There was that. I think Yasuo was hoping I would hit a bubble, I just didn't have it up at the time. I'm going up here to ward Dragon just to make sure the enemy team doesn't decide to go for it. I don't know that Trindamere's left because it doesn't announce it when you're actually playing the game. Almost hit my bubble, I just messed up where it was going. But Quinn is very low, and Draven is almost 6. Not a good sign for either of them. As you can tell, she's only managed an Avarice Blade, whereas our Draven has a best friend sword and boots. And yes, that pinging is always annoying. Draven has almost 140 AD, Quinn is 84. And on his spinning blades, if he hits it, it's an extra 90 damage, so 200. Volley goes in, not the wisest of decisions. And now Draven cashes out on him, getting an extra 126 gold from his passive alone, so as you can tell from gold, 3,500 to not even 2,000. It is looking really, really bad for them now. There was at one point in time in the chat, Draven said, "Stop feeding Lee, Nami will carry us all," and I'm quite happy with this actually being recognized as being good, because most ADCs will ignore you. Or just talk about how great and wonderful they are that they've had 5 kills fed to them in the first 15 minutes. This tower is about to go down. Caught by the bubble. And I managed to get her with a bounce as well. So she's almost down. And Draven has his ult, which does a lot of damage. She's getting a little too close and honestly should have gone back. She has no means of sustain other than her Doran's blade. I am at this time just looking for an opportunity to bubble one of them and miss. I miss more than I hit, but when I hit, oh boy, it is over. Neither of them even come up attempting to CS. That is how far behind they are and how afraid. Quinn really should have gone back. She needs to buy something. She has 1,000 gold. She could get a pickaxe and actually try and win a trade. They're pushing back probably as best as they can, but they don't want to shove too hard, because the further away they get from the tower, the more vulnerable they are. More poke off going on them. Just not really to do damage, but more or less for money for me, because every time I hit them I make money. I was hoping he'd go in further, that's why I put my Tide Colors Blessing, that's what it's called, on him. I'm trying to get a bubble off on her and I finally hit it. Goodbye. I hit my tidal wave on him. And there goes the double kill. Draven is 5-0, 73 CS to Quinn's 40 and 0-3. Draven is going back to buy lots of things. Almost 3,000 gold on this back. And an almost 12-minute Infinity Edge. That's always a bad sign when Draven gets an Infinity Edge before your ADC has anything completed. She's going for Static Shiv, which I do not agree with. Quinn really should be trying to do some damage because of her passive, which is that reticule that pops up occasionally. When she pops it with an auto attack, it does about 50 to... actually increases as she gets more and more levels to on the base of her AD, so she always needs to buy damage first. Static Shiv will help her wave clear it, but she's so far pushed behind that if she starts wave clearing and pushing over here, she opens herself up for a gank. Volley Bear, as you can see, is not buying a Sightstone. I have one. It's only a blue, but I still have more wards. He's not getting any wards, they're not placing any. Lee is the only one who is, and that's more or less a jump to. So they have no vision on anything. They have no real way of meaningfully engaging on us, because they have no vision, they don't know where most of our jungler is at. I get that second bounce, I'm so happy. I'm getting better with Nami. As you can see from the crits, he's doing about 600 per. Ouch! Half her health in a single hit. And we popped her summoners for absolutely nothing. This is just going to get worse and worse. Quinn cannot win a trade, she absolutely has to have Lee come down and gank. But this is getting to the point that if Lee did come down here, he might disintegrate faster than we can do any damage to Draven, because if I hit a bubble on him, it's over. Lee is trying to counter jungle as best he can. He does get a lot of kills off of mid and jungle. Draven went for an ult on her, but missed cleanly. Did hit her with a backswing and kill most of the back minions, though, so... And back up to their tower again. Quinn left. I think she was trying to engage on mid. Honestly, she needs to be leaving at this point. I attacked Volibear just so the tower would tank me, go after me. Ooh. And dude, bottom lane dead in an instant. That is always a bad sign. Their tower gone at not even 15 minutes. Quinn is so far behind, it's honestly terrifying. 3,000 gold to Draven's almost 7,000. She has no finished items. She has nothing really that she can buy. Draven's going back to get a lot of items, and I'm pretty much decent on mana, so I don't really need to go back. Ward up Dragon, and just head to mid, because that's the next logical place to go. We push down mid, because this tower grants an enormous amount of vision. You need to get rid of it as soon as possible. Quinn pops her ult to get back to lane, likely trying to pick off Draven before he left, but he wasn't meaningfully going to stay around. Draven here has bought what Quinn has, except he has an Infinity Edge boots. Now, three of us here, we're just going to smash this tower down into nothing. Lee's on his way to defend it. But even Platinum 4 versus a fed Draven and me, not going to do him so well. I didn't think he'd go in. Fortunately, I managed to hit him with my bubble. Or, not bubble, but tidal wave. And that's most of his health gone in an instant. First turret down. We're going to lose our bottom turret out of this, but we're also going to take the next one, so very worthwhile. Now here I wanted to kill Lee, so I was trying to stay directly below him so his heads-up display would be in the way, so he couldn't see if I was about to toss a bubble. And here I go, nail it, Yasuo goes in, ignites, bye-bye Lee. And he doesn't even manage to get the kill on Yasuo. But that is essentially the problem. All of their kills are pretty much on Lee. He's the only one who's going to save this game. If I hit him with a bubble, Draven will melt him. If I hit him with a bubble, Yasuo will melt him. He simply cannot compete with this many fed people, even as good as he is. Those two got caught and almost got killed. I thought we were going after volley, but we kind of broke off after a second. But this is the point in time we're going to do Dragon. While bottom lane is pushed up, mid's also pretty pushed up on their side, and they have no real vision anywhere. Rammus smites the Gromp there. He should not have. He needed smite up for Dragon. Draven can hit it really hard, but against the jungler's smite, not going to help. Lee undoubtedly knew what we were going to do and goes in. Miss my bubble, get hit by the Q. I didn't manage to get my wave off in time. Unfortunately for poor Lee, Draven gets his last auto off and cashes out on him. And we get the first dragon. Now Draven has 200 AD, and on his spinning blade does another 171 damage. Draven is 8-0, 121 CS. Quinn is 0-4, 56 CS. He has more money than any single member on their team, and several combinations as well. They get vision here, but it's not really meaningful because the dragon's gone. We're not coming back to this area for a while. It's not really critical. But Quinn needed the money, so... Again, when you see someone stop like this and not do anything, they're yelling at each other. There's a one point in time they were screaming in all chat, report our mid and jungler. I typed, why? You're mid left, why do you want to report your jungler? And I'm feeling he's throwing a fit at them. Again, we push back to mid. As you notice, Draven is one-shotting pretty much all these minions, and you can see from the crits 700. There's one point he's doing 900 crits. Lee, I'm not sure what he was doing. Like, yeah, getting vision on Baron is nice and all, but it's not up yet, and you're in no position to do it anyway. We're pushing hard on mid, we're going to take the tower. They're not really responding very well. Quinn's on her way, but goes the wrong direction. And pays. Gets hit with the ult, killed easily. Lee is the only one who's any real threat at the moment. With Draven attacking the tower, it's not going to stay long. I miss my bubble so badly. If I hit him, he killed him. I do manage to clip both of them. Unfortunately, we don't get Lee and Yasuo. So. I exhausted him hoping that everyone else was going to be going in and kind of backed out for some reason. We did get a double kill out of it. And with Rumble and Rammus coming in, Lee cannot defend this tower. It's over now. He does the smart thing and goes all the way around to get to the back of Draven and manages to get a kill off on him before he can do anything. Tower gone. There he is. Killed and not much we could do. Rammus chases him for a little bit, but realizes the inhibitor is simply too important. Lee got away with it. Both his inhibitor down. Constant pressure on the lane. Rammus does a smart thing and tries to back away immediately, but Rumble drops his ult here, and Volley just stands on it and gets himself killed. Nautilus almost dies for it, but Lee's in. Rumble's gone, and the two of them just killed Rammus easily. He almost managed to get Nautilus here, but not enough. A double kill for them, but the inhibitor is down. Constant pressure on this lane. Here come the super minions. From this point on, we can just push top or bottom, and they really need to task someone, constantly here to push back. Otherwise, those super minions will take those towers in seconds. Draven's already on his way to top to clear it out and push in. Yasuo is pushing bottom, and Lee's on his way to try and clean him up. Yasuo hits hard, but Lee hits harder. And that is the end of Yasuo's push. Draven now has best friend sword, static shiv, boots, fully upgraded, and Quinn just has a static shiv and boots. 47,000 gold, almost 12. Right now Draven has more than half of our kills and almost as many as their entire team does. Lee has 13 kills, but he is again the only one with anything. We have a similar problem on our side. Draven has all of our power, but no one on their side has anything. I've got some support items and I've been wandering around warding up their jungle. Lee comes in to try and do something, but again, if he gets caught by a bubble and he knows it, he's gone. Draven just hits way too hard. Rammus got caught and they go in, all three of them go in for him, but I drop my tidal wave on them and lock up all three Draven ults. Goodbye, Nautilus. Useless flash. Lee barely makes it out of there with his life. And the double flashes to get them. 60% of Quinn's life gone in a single auto attack. That is the power of a fed Draven. And that is pretty much the game. Lee is down for 30 seconds, Volley will be up momentarily. Quinn can't really do anything, and she gets destroyed here. I managed to get the kill on her, so yay for support. Just a quick read on his damage. 240 bonus off of 280 regular. Rumble got a little bit too close and got pulled into the Nexus turret and is dead. But Lee's not going to be up in any time to manage anything, and with this many super minions coming in, it's over anyway. So hey, today's message is, even if you're Platinum 4, sometimes you can't carry, because you're fighting me. Also, that is the power of a fed Draven. If you can get your ADC fed early and fast, it's over. There's nothing Quinn could do here. She's building, trying to build an infinity edge after 20 minutes, and this many items, this deficit in gold, it is over. You're not coming back. So, I hope you enjoyed this little video, so until next time, bye.